honestly quite incredible. Hey, welcome back to more Limbus Company. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we did stuff, mostly story stuff, and this time we will be doing more story stuff, including some combat. Ooh. And probably, let me double check something. Okay, I was just checking when a certain fight is. That won't be this time. It's a bit too far out of the way. It's 5:30, I think it is. Let me double check. Yeah, 5:30. So, Ishmael, this bottom of Corp branch is still a ways away. We're gonna rest up for a bit while we can. That's what we always do anyway. Let's let me take the next shift. I've done my fair share of night watches. Gregor's young betrayed his confidence. Ishmael didn't care. She wasn't going to move from her station anyway. Ishmael looked like she was waiting for something to happen. Maybe she was deathly afraid of something. She did not even for a second, leave the telescope, courtesy of Rain, most likely, and saw the modified Mephistopheles. It's a good attitude, Swabby. It's been a long-held belief that letting your guard down is to let your comrades down. I asked noticed her thoughts out of curiosity, but she simply replied that Vergilius had already acted upon the matter. The executive manager would not take action, and that was that. She also explained that while she would not hesitate to clash with Ishmael again should the need arise, she would not continue to this pointless tussle that only lowered the team's morale. Guess that's good enough. In the middle of a lake. As long as we stick to the laws of the Great Lake, I don't see us getting any... There, ahead! Ishmael suddenly got up and hurried to the cabin as though she noticed something through the telescope. Attacked by anything. My bad. Time to drift again, Redhead? Too late to change course. The trick won't help us here. We went through the trouble of hiding themselves in the artificial fog of war. We're obviously their target. It's a matter of time before they catch up with the ship now that they know our location. Deal with them as you will. Manager, permit us to board their ship. Sure that boarding their ship is the best course of action if you want to save our ship? According to my experience, yes. Okay, I'll leave it to you then. But you need to make wise choices like that. I started with Leaf as she seemed to be going along with me for now. Then I took a few steps behind the other sitters and watched her. We'll hook their ship with my harpoon, force them into melee range. Somebody grab the helm and turn it on my signal. Someone should be on standby, ready to shut the engine off at the right moment. You, break some extra rope! You, wait for a signal inside the wheelhouse! Ishmael's explanations were rapid and confident. I was not along affirmatively. The other sitters were quick to follow their instructions. Watching Ishmael throw her razor-sharp harpoon toward the pirate ships, I started to feel that something was off. There they were, the sinners, working so well together like clockwork, but underneath all that, maybe all that mattered to them was their own goals. I was wondering if all this time I've spent thinking, hoping, and contemplating our futures together were pointless. This thought lingered for a while in my head. I actually really enjoy that, like, again, we're slowly starting to see the series, like, start to actually work together. Like, they're not to a point where they're, 100% chummy with each other, but we're starting to at least get a little bit of, like, oh, they don't fucking hate each other. They just merely are annoyed by each other, and also Ryoshu just wants to kill them. Well, okay, Ryoshu wants to kill everybody, so it's not anything personal from that front, but, like, we're actually getting a little bit more camaraderie, and, like, again, Ishmael and Otis work very well as a unit. Because they smirt. I love how much AoE we have from just, like, or attack rate we have from just, like, normal IDs. Because, like, beautiful. If we could get, Regret Faust, she's, like, the queen of attack weight, as identity, that'd be nice. You crafty bastards! We were going to board your ship first! We got a place to things to do, okay? That's my question, lad. Flap gums made in the slave. Tear the lips off your mugs. Speak, who said you plunkers after us? We can't like someone who dared to lay a finger on our first mate leave in one piece. Your very breath brings shame to our syndicate. By Captain Hook's orders, you won't leave here alive. You're that bloody marvelous. I've seen a good camaraderie. What to say about flapping your gums meaninglessly? You think your threats are all us? We're no tenderfoot, you stupid sons of bachelors. We're playing you bunch. We spared the first mate's life and this the things we got. I think this is what me meant. We'll regret it for you. No. You're now whining. Not from shame. Huh. When we may lie dead, you should soon manipulate and lend to a giant meat grinder by a collective insanity of a madwoman. When you're left in that endless void where only the sound is the beating of your heart. Oi! When you realize that, Heart continues to beat because it's still desperately, pathetically clinging onto life, and despite all that, that's when you feel true shame. Well, looking at the starry seat of your boat, I can absolutely have no clue what you're doing out here. Spare me and I'll tell you what you need to know. I'll even put a good word to the boss man for you. And nothing to lose here, eh, lass? To put in a good word if you kill me. We get through you? Spare me, you just might sail out this lake with your... I'm tired of listening to these inane, meaningless pleas. That's the last one, yeah? Let's get back to our ship. The ship was still as death. The sails fluttered a forlorn dance in the winds. Again, like, I do get why a lot of people don't like Ishmael during this canto, but I actually really enjoy her characterization during this. That it is very much, she's not having a good time, suffice to say. She's had better days, but, like, it's very much, you can tell, hey, something's fucking wrong. Something's been bothering me. Isn't it weird how they all seem so certain? If we kept going this way, we run into some other huge disaster. There's nothing we don't manage here. But a byproduct of the firm belief in their advantage over us. I've observed an oddity, however. They installed numerous spikes on the lower side of the ship's hull. They're not for ramming into other vessels? I've heard such tactics were occasionally used in naval combat. They were installed far too low in the water to be useful as means of ramming another ship. We extrapolated that from the metal's level of corrosion that the spikes concentrated on the keel of the boat have been installed correctly. How did you see the keel of the boat? The water was clearer up close than it appeared from distance. Maybe they're trying to put a stop to something from climbing up the ship? Can't imagine any fish would swim blind to the keel of the boat. Birds crashing into windows. Maybe it's nothing. Now let's see what this Spartan be. That's like a good luck charm. I should at least let Assistant Manager Pilot tag along. Know anything about this, Frau Faust? No pertinent information has been updated. Most we can do is to ensure that we do not violate any laws of the Great Lake. Thus, we continued toward the Lobotomy branch. Thus, continued our journey to the Lobotomy Corp branch with the variable coordinates the pilot gave us. Paranoia of the unknown weighing heavily on our shoulders. After an indeterminate amount of time, Otis, we will have to steer the ship portside. What? Otis, who was looking out from ahead of the bow of the ship, whipped around. Whatever Faust said seemed to have hit her unexpectedly. Hey, it's been an hour since he told us we'll have to cross the zone in a straight line. We're falling short of the target speed. At our current rate, we'll be struck by the next zone's waves as soon as we exit here. That damn law of the zone? Indeed. Though our encounter with the pirates was rapidly resolved, we still fell behind schedule. The variable coordinates now point us to a different route. No time we're gonna have to waste here. To go to the variable coordinates, the necessary roundabout path will cost us 3 more days. Otis bit her lip with discontent before Sully turned in my direction. Executive Manager, I have a genius plan. A plan not only accelerates this operation, but also increases the chance of securing and rescuing the lives of the LCCB agents. If we were to waste 3 more days at sea, there is very little guarantee of further well-being. That's the plan. We keep going forward. With that, Otis slowly raised the acceleration lever. What? You nuts? We'd be sailing right into the waves, you know that? I know what the waves are, Swabby. I'm not as ignorant of the Great Lake as you might think. You're plenty of experience weathering and conquering waves as well, haven't you? Yeah, that's because they were unavoidable, because we lacked enough information to take the roundabout path and were sailed knowingly into the waves before. But you still prevailed, didn't you? That was when you didn't have something to bring you back. So this is well within our capabilities. Besides, there's the added benefit of accelerating our mission, the higher possibility of rescue the executive manager and a few underlings wanted. It's clear to me that you, Ishmael, weren't so happy with how slow our progress has been. What is it? Did you suddenly gain a yearning for 3-day sunbathing break? Instead of responding to Otis' sarcastic remark, Ishmael squinted in the direction into the direction the boat was speeding in. Tight, the odor, the speed, the color, that lake over there. It's the blue whirling lake of murk and fish freak. I haven't suffered its waves before, but I know many ships that have, many of which are now lying at the bottom of that lake. Fine, as long as we don't join them. Well, if we just take a quick look, like, if it feels like it's too much for us, we can just go back to the way we came from, right? But there is no such thing as going back in this lake. Decision, Dante? Let's try following Otis' plan. Understood. Crossing zone borders to the target lake. You've got to be kidding me. Otis, you better be right. As soon as the words left Ishmael's mouth, there was a flash in the sky. Thunder. It's really starting to pour. In the eye of the storm. Wait, but the sky was clear just moments ago. How could this... Waves already here, manager. It was an entertaining display. Charon, seems like a good opportunity to test that function. Okay, switching to enduro mode. That's when the reality began to sink in. What happened to, what happens to, and what will happen to everything and everyone and everything that enter this lake without preparation for what's to come. What should we do now, Ishmael? There's a status to every greenhorn sailor of the Great Lake here before they set their first sail. So one thing you can count on if you find yourself in an unfamiliar lake whose waves are alien to you. plus a wave rises to its crest before us. Sick. Ready your weapons if you want to delay the inevitable. It's not your sailing prowess, your far-seeing eyes of a pathfinder, the unbreakable bond between you and your mates. Many sailors fail to endure this trial and instead choose to become sacrificed to the depths of the lake. Something's climbing onto our ship? Trust nothing but your own resolve to hold steadfast in the face of terror, in the face of calamity. While the raging lake may remain indifferent to the will of your meager existence. Jesus, why did it flip like that? Honestly, I wish there were more fights that use this scenery. Kind of thing. There's, I want to say just one other fight that uses this sort of thing. That being the Dreaming Electric Sheep uses this kind of 3D wiring. But, like, the whale hand in the background, these are whales of the Porous Hand Mermaids, by the way. These guys are very annoying. They inflict a lot of sinking. But like, just this battle, like this is probably for a long time ends up being the absolute goddamn coolest background for any fight that we get for a while. Honestly, actually, maybe even period. I won't definitively say it's the very best, but also I'm not going to say that it doesn't have, it's not in contention. I'm not going to say that it's not in contention. Okay, like there's, like, the physics on the chords are a little bit weird. Right now they're technically, you know, they're clipping it beneath the ground. But, again, it's like, the fact that this is, again, I'm pretty sure this is, correct me if I'm wrong, I very well may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this still is the only 3D background for a fight. Maybe, well, like, I know we have it's not fully 3D, I know. But, like, the Indicant Trial was notable because it kind of uses the same styling, where it has a bit more perspective on it. Again, like, there is perspective, but it's very 2D perspective, so not really, again, not the same thing as here. Indicant Trial, I remember seeing stuff when that was first announced, that it was really notable that, like, oh, what the hell? Oh, so yeah, Soldier Mermaid. These guys are. So, by the way, fucking love this design. I'm gonna gush about the Great Lake in a moment. But like, Indicant Trial, I remember seeing stuff that was like, whoa, hold up, there's 3D stuff in this. Oh, never mind. I do know of King and Bind's Railway 4. That is simple. Well, Dreaming Electric Sheep also was Railway 4, so very convenient with that. Railway 4 was next season. Would have been for Kanto 6. Yeah. But the Great Lake. Oh my god, the Great Lake is such good world building. First of all, like, mermaids are fucking terrifying. I mean, like, the actual quote-unquote historical mermaids. I might be just confusing them with sirens. But we're fucking terrifying. And, like, look at this. Fucking absurd. Like, I'm gonna be real. I have fought these numerous times, mostly in Mirror Dungeon. Not until seeing this up close, like, oh shit, they got eyes and a mouth there. I thought they were just kind of like real creepy buggers, but like, bleh. And like, we haven't even seen the coolest bit of the. There's one particular shot. I don't know when we see it, but there's one CG of the Great Lake that is so fucking cool. Like, again, people have their issues with Kanto 5, mainly with Ishmael's characterization. But, like, Honestly, I think Kanto 5 might be the best world building they've done. Project Moon has done, period. No words come to mind to describe that creature. Infernal entities inhabiting the depths of the lake are called whales. Those that emerge from them are called mermaids. That's the Whale of the Poorest Hand. Really hoping to avoid that one. Is that one of the whales we were talking about at U-Corp? The mermaids raid ships too? Read about them once as a child, but it doesn't look anything like how they did in the books. Mermaids. I still remember the horrible bedtime stories my brother used to tell me about them. Make perfumes out of these things? Fergie, isn't this a good time for you to lend us a hand for once? Really? Yeah, practically spectated like a bystander when we got slaughtered back to K-Corp. You didn't even blink. Ah, he did wave at us though. I couldn't wave back because our wrists were getting snapped in half. Of course I wouldn't sit idly by as Mathis softly sings, but if it ever comes to that, but... No, that I will take action only under a very particular set of circumstances. In which all of you are decimated. The enemies have crushed the manager's head, and are about to tear out the hands off that clock. You serious right now? Dante, I can't allow them to take the company's precious assets right before my eyes now, can I? So I'm afraid you won't be seeing me step in before every single one of you are dead. Mr. Guide, are you really as good as they say? Even stories about you were just tall tales, you know? That's... No, do not. Yeah, that's just not... Two previous victims of Regillus interjected, albeit in hollow voices, to rebut Rhodia's rather dangerous remark. So either take them out or welcome them aboard with open arms or whatever. I'm even up to all of you. Yeah, again, I don't remember exactly when the CG happens, but fuck, it's cool. We'll do this fight as well. Before ending things off. And off for this recording session. Jesus, this is a long fight. Kanto 5 is, like, probably the, obviously you do have Dongbek and both Dongrangs that are pretty difficult fights. Sun Shower is not terribly difficult. But you have Spice Push, as well as both Dongbeks, or both Dongrangs that are pretty difficult fights. But I would say Kanto 5 is really the first time you do have, like, this is the first proper difficult Kanto. One thing I see a lot from online is that, like, I've seen people say that Limbus is an easy game. I heavily disagree. I don't think it's like, you know, Kaizo difficult. I don't think it's, you know, the most difficult game in the world ever. But it has a lot of tricky fights in it. And Kanto 5 is really where we start seeing the first of those. In particular, there's three notable bosses. Three notable boss fights in Kanto 5 that, of course, we will be getting to later. That they are all significant stuff, but this is also the part where even the regular encounters can be a little bit difficult. Porous Hands, they can be a little bit tricky with some of their rolling. Not horribly so. If you're a little bit under-leveled, they roll high enough that it can be tricky, and with how much sinking they do, that can also be a bit of an issue. Porous Hand is those guys rolling I think they're what, floor 12 on that skill, is it? No, up to a 15 on that skill, barring any boosts from attack level. Yeah, this one's a 16 as well, and inflicting sinking deluge. These can start being a little bit difficult as well. There's very infamous normal battle in the dungeon of this that is incredibly difficult. I did actually forget about another abnormality fight that, again, I wouldn't necessarily chalk up to as a boss fight for Kanto 5 in the same way that I would, I wouldn't call So That No One Will Cry a Kanto 4 boss fight, if that makes sense. But, like, there's one abnormality in the dungeon that is, oh boy, do people fucking hate it. And oh boy, is it difficult. I got reminded of it because it does do Sinking Deluge after rolling, what is it? If I'm remembering the skill correctly, it's a 16 floor, 4 4 coin power? Yeah, I think it's 16 floor, 4 coin power, 4 coin skill that inflicts a decent chunk of sinking on its first 3 coins before hitting Sinking Deluge on the last one. God, and to make things even more fun, it inflict. Did we fight an army or dungeon run? We might have, but I'm going to be vague just in case we haven't yet. But it also inflicts paralysis, which is, you know, just fucking lovely. That it also gives you paralysis. That should be fine for our team, because we do have the negative potential, so that actually just helps us out. But 9 times out of 10, it'll be an issue because, again, you're a lot of the times positive coins. Of course, if you do corrosion, you should be mostly fine. So that's not too much of an issue. But, like, again, paralysis is the most annoying status to deal with. Alright, I don't believe we have seen In the Name of Love and Hate, or rather, really? Why would you not want to roll Maximize Reverse Arcana? Which is quite the name. And sure. I'd say Vav Egos are pretty good. She will corrode next turn, but that'll be fine. That was almost as strong as my Arcana Slave, bitch. That was your Arcana Slave, or rather, what was it? Reverse Maximize Arcana Slave, Erasure of Hatred, something like that. That alongside LCE Lantern Yisong. I want to learn the, like, fully learn what the names are so I can repeat them off the top of my head. And you know what? We're gonna let Dawn finish this off. Oh. It's fine. It's fine. One thing that I learned embarrassingly recently is that holding down will speed up the animation of Ego. Damn. I hear Heathcliff freaking the fuck out. Hey, we survived! I think no one died. If someone did die, oh well, fucking deal with it. How many left? None. This is the last one. There's something off about those mermaids that crawled out of the whale. Feeling less different look at an abnormality or distortion. Were they human ones? This should have explained better. Every creature that lives in the depth of the Great Lake are called whales. What the fuck did I say street for? Whales specifically refer to everything at Great Lake that can parasitize humans. And whales give birth to mermaids. Where do the mermaids come from? People devoured by the whales that come with the waves. No guarantee that we won't meet the same fate. See? Now you know why you could turn the clock all day and fail to bring us back. See now. Goals be unrelenting, unabating. And Ishmael, who already weathered and braved these endless crashing waves, starting to snap strand by strand. A mission that I can't fail. I'll kill everything that stands in my way. If I were to stumble, even if every part of me were to fall apart, I'll see it through to the end. Determined and ferocious, both good attitudes to have when setting sail on an adventure. It's their voyage just getting started. Oh, fuck. This might be the coolest art I've seen in any game. It is so fucking cool. It really puts together... No, I would say it does. It's like, I was kind of thinking maybe Mephi is a little bit too small, but like, this really puts it in size. Like, the Great Lake is fucking huge. Like, I believe that's the Elcor branch. At least it seems like it's reasonable that it could be that. But like, all of this, we don't know what's going on in any of these. Everything's sectioned off, and like, it's unnatural, but this is just like how the world is. Every single one of these has some other specific rule to it that is probably incredibly fucked up. Like, again, the fact that it has these unnatural borders, it's so visually striking and everything. Like, this one is probably, you know, like another port city. Maybe if this isn't the Elcor branch, this is another one of the ports. You have this island here, you have probably another port there. What the fuck is going on with this sinkhole here? What's going on with this boiling lake? Everything is so cool with the Great Lake. It is the fucking coolest. Like, the city already has, I think, great world building. The Great Lake is the pinnacle of Project Moon's storytelling. And this one piece of art, again, mint. Fucking mint. And wait for the jolly music. There we go. This is 47%? Yeah, well, you know, never mind. I don't know why I'm shocked. Also, I meant to mention, this is probably the first, I think it's this level in specific. It's probably the first time you'll ever have to worry about not getting the EX clear. This fight can take a little while, so be a little bit wary of that. You can always come back, do EX clears, but next time, another party! But until then, see you guys later.